Good day, everyone. This is Shaw, and I hope you're well. So, I've been playing a lot of Satisfactory lately, and I thought I would share with you all my base and my main bus, specifically my main bus. So, maybe I can offer some tips or maybe inspire you on how to set up your main bus. So, I figured we would start out the video up here on the little area where I set up and I started playing at. So, I originally started in the very last, the mountainy region, and I'll show you on the map here. So on the map, I think the starting area is right in here, for the very last starting area. So from there you just kind of run west, and along this ledge here where I'm currently at, I'll kind of zoom in as best I can. It's got an overview of this little water inlet that goes out to the ocean. It's also just south of this canyon that runs all the way up to the desert area, if you know where that's at. But in this little area, there's two copper nodes over there that are both pure. There's a pure limestone up on top there, and here there's four pure iron nodes. So it's a great little place for resources. Now all these pipe over to this little wall here, and they go down to the base and start out the bus. This is kind of where the bus started. Now, in addition to those nodes, there's also another pure limestone just around the corner here. This is the first one I used, and a pure coal node, and not too far away is two criterium nodes. So it's a great little starting area. Oh yeah, and the two quartz right here. So pretty much all the resources you need starting out, rather other than just bauxite, I guess, is about the only thing you're really going to have to go pipe in for more than a little ways. But that's pretty much any starting area you're going to have to, go work to get bauxite. So this is the main bus. Now the theory with the main bus and one of the concepts I came up with to design my base was I wanted an open top base where we could see all the machines and didn't have them cooped up in little buildings where we couldn't see all of the cool things. And that darn fog isn't letting us see too far down the bus. Hopefully that'll clear up here shortly. But anyway, all the resources, well, the 4 iron, 2 copper come in here. The quartz come in over here, and they get sent along the bus. And I try to keep all of the raw resources to the right side of the bus here. And a bus just being a big collection and line of conveyor belts stacked up, right? That's kind of the main thing with the buses. Everything's central and localized together, instead of being spread out in different directions. So we have, that's quartz coming in. So here's the first iron, raw iron comes in, goes up, out, goes out here to these smelters, gets smelted into iron ingots, and then pipe back in. And as they come back in, they get sent over into the center of the bus to be more localized to whether I was going to, use them in crafting on the left side of the bus or the right side of the bus. So I try to keep all finished products and iron ingot, or not just iron ingots, but all ingots and finished products more central. So they're more in the center here. So yeah, that's kind of the basic layout. Now, having a bus like this that's covered top, bottom, left, and right is that it helps with FPS. So if you're having problems with FPS, maybe try covering your conveyors. I do have a lot of conveyors showing out here, which if I shorten them and had the machine start closer up here to the main building or main bus, would have probably helped a little bit, but I get decent frames anyway, so I really like the way they look though. Just kind of, I don't know, a little OCD. But it's a nice clean look. I think it looks pretty aesthetically pleasing, right? I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what y'all think about it. But anyway, so in the bus, one of the things I was trying to figure out is how to fit as many belts down here in this pipeline, in this big corridor, as I could. When I first started laying out the bus, I was going every other one. So I'd have like one, then I'd have a space, and I'd have another conveyor pole, and then a space and another conveyor pole. Well, that didn't seem very efficient, and I knew I could fit more conveyors in here than just that. So what I came up with is kind of laid out on this back wall and a couple other places down through the pipeline, but we can see it pretty good right here. Is doing 2 at a time. So two conveyor belt, or two conveyor stacks, a space, two conveyor stacks, a space, etc., all the way across, as you can see here laid out before us. Now, that allowed us to be able to pull off of any of the belts through one of these holes. So there's two here. We can pull off from this first one. We can pull off on this side. Then in this little corridor here, we can pull everything off of the left and the right belt. And there's more examples. You can see kind of better as we get down through here, and the bus starts filling up with items and resources. And now, with the way the elevators go up on the ceiling and go out, there's another couple features that made it for building quickly. And I'll give you a demonstration here in just a moment. But just to show, like, as we can see here is kind of the hallway here in between the two different sets of conveyor belts. And this is where, everything on these conveyor belts are pulled off of, as to where, like, go into the next space and everything's pulled off here. Hope that kind of makes sense. So we got room to pull off of either belt and fit as many as we could in here. And in this little stretch, how many tiles is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in 7 tiles, was able to fit 12 stacks of conveyors down here. And they can go up to 6 tall. So there you go. 12 times 6. That's how many items. So we can definitely fit more items than are currently in game, and more than we need. So I was trying to future-proof and make it expandable. That was kind of one of the big goals, is to not just take care of what I knew we were going to be creating, but also be able to create or have room to expand later down the road when more items are made. So kind of show you how we add an item. So let's say we're producing something here, and this is going to be our export. So we got crystals coming out. We're going out here, and what are they making? These are making the quartz crystal. Okay, so we need to pipe in crystals in this belt, in that window. So it's really easy once you have everything set up and you got your window set up. You just take your splitter, find the belt that you want to pull your items off of, look at the ceiling, and using the ceiling, whether you're using a double window or triple window or a single window. In this case, we're using a single window that's aligned in the center. So by using the ceiling and knowing where we're at, so window's right there, we can simply look at the ceiling, put our splitter, line it up to where it's snapping on the ceiling up there. See how it's snapping? So we just snap it into the center, get it where we want it, and don't know why it's throwing fits there. There we go. But there you go. That's how easy it is to. So it's perfectly lined up with that window. No problem. And then just take our elevator, and here's the other nice part. Instead of trying to guess where we need to angle our elevator at, we simply know we go all the way to the ceiling and bring it down 1. So right there, that spot right there. So now we know that this elevator is lined up perfectly with that window. So nice and OCD clean. So easily to plug it in there, plug it in there. Now we got nice, clean 90-degree angles, and it's super fast to, set up an array no matter what you want to produce, whether it's constructors or assemblers or manufacturers. Lay them out how you want, figure out how many windows you need, and then just come out to your bus, pick the item that you need, off the bus, and pipe them up and through your windows. Super fast and easy. No thinking about trying to how you're going to route something or what directions. How can you keep it clean? It's just once you have it set up, it's super efficient and clean to proceed on. So made for a little bit of lag here, and away we go. Made for really easy expanding on, and which brings me to one of the next points that my base was, as I was saying, was set up to be future-proof. Future-proof meaning we don't know what's coming, but I want to be able to expand for it. Same with my production, which is probably better shown over on this side, maybe with what do we got? Steel pipes. We'll look at some steel pipes. So as I was going along, and I would be building, I didn't know exactly how many machines I would need to create total. I would just know that for my next item, I needed, say, 6 constructors making steel pipes. So I'd start out, I think it was 6, it might have been 4. So I started out with, maybe 4 constructors here making these iron pipes. Left a conveyor module or splitter and a merger on one side. Left it all open that way. So I just built this part, did what I needed to, got to the next item that needed more steel pipes, and I was like, okay, so I need to add 6 more, constructors. So I would just come back to the steel pipeline, upgrade a few belts, add the constructors in, and away we go. Upgrade it. Now with the iron pipes here, or the steel pipes, excuse me, they're able to go all the way out to that wall +1. So this line's still not full, considering I'm using the MK5 belts, which transport 780 items. So I can still, expand out on steel pipes all the way out to that wall out there before I need to actually create a new node or a new array for creating steel pipes further down. So that's made things a lot easier. And I never had to double up on anything. I thought I might have to double up on wire, but as it turns out, my little wire setup, expanding it out, has still been able to keep up. Now if I get to the point to where I need more wire, well, there's plenty of room further down just to pop in another segment or another array, pull in some more iron ingots and just create another segment and plug it back into the bus. So super easy to expand and hopefully be as future proof as possible and have enough room, that I gave myself to account for the unknown, which is like all the items that are going to be coming in tier 8 and 9, and who knows, is there going to be a 10 and 11, who knows. But yeah, so that's kind of the basic gist of the main bus. I do like the way it looks also. I don't know if I said that. Oh yeah, and if you notice, well, some items are actually backported, so not everything runs from the east to the west. Some items are actually made further down the west and then piped backwards, such as the motors here. So the motors are actually created over here, but one of the items that it needed is further back on the bus. So I just picked a line, put a splitter in instead of a merger, and piped some of the items backwards, and it gets piped backwards, then is used. So don't think your bus just has to go one direction. If you've got the room and you've done it right, you can run items in both directions. Now, as I get to the end, the end of what my current bus is, and I'll probably build supercomputers and make sure I got enough juice here to get up here. I'm going to get a little area right here, probably right where that rock is, and come out, and I'll just pipe every item from these containers, set up a row of containers and pipe everything out and have a centralized storage, so that instead of having to run from container to container to get items, like instead of me having to run all the way to the other end down there to get iron plates and then come up here to get iron wire or what have you, it'll all be centralized. But having the bus set up the way it is, it probably take maybe an hour to set up a centralized storage location up here. But anyway, that's kind of my setup, my take on a main bus and an open top base with arrays. I hope you all found the video useful. If you got anything out of it, please don't forget to leave a like. If you have any tips or any advice or anything that you think I could have done differently, or how I could improve my main bus or my open top base design, let me know. I'd love to hear. Anyway, take care. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye bye.